Okay, in the second part of our lecture, we are going to talk about the place value systems of the Babylonian numeration system and also that of the Mayan numeration system. So for us to better appreciate their place value system, let us first take a look back at our own place value system of the Hindu-Arabic numeration system that we use today. So this is the most common numeration system, again, as I have said a while ago. So this was first developed actually in India during the year 800 AD, and then it was later on refined by the Arabs. That's why it's called the Hindu-Arabic numeration system. So again, we use 10 symbols, starting from 0 up to 9. We call this digits, which is also related to us having 10 fingers. So another name for this numeration system is the decimal system. Decem in Latin means 10. Why is it 10? Because our place value system is base 10. Later on, you will find out more about that. One of the unique feature of our numeration system is the place value or the position value system. That means that 31 is not 4, katulad ng ginagawa lang sa ibang numeration system. What I mean to say is, remember in the Egyptian numeration system, you can write these symbols in different ways, in different order, and it will still be 31 because they don't use place value system. But in our system, 31 actually means that there are 3 tens and 1 ones. Okay, and 53, the 3 here in 53 is different from the 3 in 31 because in the second one you have 5 tens and 3 ones. It's placed in the ones place value. This is also the reason why it's easier to write our numbers if you have larger numbers in the Egyptian numeration system. That would mean you will also have more symbols. So for example, here you would need 5 lotus flowers, and here you will need 6 scrolls, and here you would need 4 heel bones and then 1 stroke. So it would tend to be very long. The writings would be very long if you have larger numbers. But in our system, in the Hindu-Arabic system, it's much shorter to write 5,641 because of our place value system. Our place value system is base 10 numeration system because there are powers of 10. So 10 raised to the 0, any number raised to 0 is 1. This is our 1's place value. 10 raised to 1, that's tens. 10 squared, that's 10 times 10 or 100, or the hundreds place value, and so on. This means that 31 means that the digit in the ones place value, you would have to multiply that by 10 raised to the 1, and then the number in the tens place value, you have to multiply to 10 raised to the 0 raised to the 1. Okay, or simply 3 tens and 1 ones. This is the expanded form of 31. Okay, in the numeral 7,532, 7 is in the 4th digits, so that's in the thousands place. Okay, again, you can write this in expanded forms, the indicated sum of each digits of a numeral that is multiplied by the respective place value. So 4,672, if you expand that, that's 4,000 plus 600 plus 70 plus 2. Okay? So if you even expand that even more, you multiply that by the respective place value. 2 should be multiplied by 1 since it's in the 1's place value. 7 will be multiplied by 10 since it's in the 10's place value. 6 by 100 since it's in the hundreds place value, and so on. You can also express this in the base 10 form. Here is another one. This time you have to simplify this instead of expand. So you have 3 times 10 raised to the 0, or in the ones, 6 in the tens, 7 in the hundreds, and 2 in the thousands. So your number is actually 2763, or the value of your of this expanded form. Now, going to the Babylonian numeration system. So if Hindu-Arabic numeration system is base 10, meaning you would multiply each place value by a power of 10, the Babylonian system is base 60. Okay, as you can see here on the table. That means you will multiply each place value by a power of 60. So starting, they still have the ones. Okay, since 60 raised to the 0, that's still equal to 1. Instead of the tens, they have the 60s. Instead of the hundreds, they have the 3,600, or the 60 squared. Instead of the thousands, they have the 60 cubed, or the 216,000 and hundreds. Okay? Or 216 hundreds. What symbols do they use? If in the Hindu-Arabic we have 10 symbols from 0 to 9, in the Babylonian numerals, they only have 2. They look like this because they actually represent imprints. So they would record their numbers in damp clays. And they would use a form of stylus that will produce these imprints. Okay? So you would imagine that as a little bar, you can imagine that it might look like this. So if you imprint this in a damp clay, you would get these symbols. So this is equivalent to 1. This wedge is equivalent to 1, and this V is equivalent to 10. The system also have additive features. That means if you put the symbols together, you should add them. So here is 32, since you have 2 wedges and the 3 V's, which are equivalent each to 10. When you see spaces, don't add all of them together, all of this together, since there are spaces in between them. The spaces indicates their place value. So here are the ones, here are the 60s, here are the 3,600s. Okay, that's how you will get the value in Hindu-Arabic. So since we have 5 wedges and 2 V's, so 2 is 20, tapos 5, so 25 ones. Here you have 3 V's and 1 wedge, so 31. But these are not ones, remember, these are 60s. And then you have here in the third place value 1 wedge. So actually, what that means is you have 3,600. Here that means you have 31 60s, 31 of them, and here that means you have 25 ones. So if you compute that, and if you put that first in expanded form, that's 25 times 1, and 31 times 60, and 1 times 60 squared, or 3,600. Total, which totals to 5,485. Okay, we have another here. We have 4 wedges and 1, 2, 3 V's. So this is 34. 5 wedges here and 1 wedge and 2 V's here. So 20 and 1. So remember this, you will not add that because place values, remember. So here is, we have 34 ones and 5 60s and 21 3,600s. So doing that in the calculator will mean that we have 34 times 1 is 34. 5 times 60 is 300, and 21 times 3,600 is 75,600. So this would total to 75,934. So this Babylonian numerals is equivalent to this Hindu-Arabic numeral. Now, what if we are asked to compute for or to write a Hindu-Arabic numeral into Babylonian numeral? Okay, so what we want to know is how many ones, how many 60s, and how many 3,600 and so on is in this Hindu-Arabic numeral. So thinking of that question, what we will do is to divide, to do some continuous division, okay, using the place values as the divisor. So remember, we have these place values. So 60 raised to the 0, that's the ones. 60 raised to 1 is the 60. 60 squared is 3,600. And we have the 216, 100,000. So kung titignan natin yung 8,503, the largest place value that we can use as a divisor is 3,600. And we saw that there are only two 3,600s that can be contained in 8,503. We also have a remainder. So if we are still getting a remainder, that means that we have to keep on dividing. Now, 1,303, we can use 60 now as the next divisor. So we will be getting 21 60s here. Still remainder of 43. That's the ones. We can only use the ones to divide that. So this means that there are two 3,600s, 21 60s, and 43 ones in the Hindu-Arabic numeral 8,503. So how do we write that? 2 60 squared, and then 21 60s and 43 ones. So in symbol form, so since you have 43 ones, 1, 2, 3, and 4, you will use 4 V's, remember? Each V's would amounts to 10. And then 3 of the wedges to get 43. 21, 2 V's and 1 wedge. And then 2, well, that's just 2 wedges. Okay? Now let's have another example. So in this case, 5,678. So we need to write this in Babylonian numeral. Remember our place values: 1, 60, 3,600, 21,000, 2,100,000, or 216,100,000. Okay, remember what we're looking for is gaano kadaming 60s, gaano kadaming 1s, gaano kadaming 3,600s, and so on, ang nasa loob ng 5,678. So we have to do some divisions. The largest place value that we can use as 3,600. So I think we can divide this by 1 or by 3,600. Since 3,600 times 2, that's already 7,200, correct? If we subtract this, we're getting, let's bring down 8 and 7, 0, so 2,078. So we can't use 3,600 anymore since it's larger now. Let's use 60, the next largest. So I think we can divide 207 by 60, 3. Since 60 times 4 is 240. So 207 minus 180, where we would be getting 27. Let's bring down 8. So we can divide this by 60 times 4. Or if we divide this by 60, we will be getting 4 is good. Since 60 times 4 is 240. 7 minus 4, 3. So we have a remainder of 38. That means we have 38 ones, 34 60s, and isang 2,600. So if we put that in expanded form, plus 60 times 34 plus 38 times 1. So in symbolic form, 38, we have to use 3 of the V's, and then 8 of the wedges. Here, the second one, second place value, we have to put 3 of the V's, and then 4 of the wedges. And then here, we only have 1 3,600, so let's put that 1 wedge here. So this is our answer. This is how you will write 5,678 in Babylonian numeral.